In this video, I will cover some technical points of installation and setup of StepForward. You can skip this and move to the tutorials and come back here if you are interested enough to install StepForward and give it a try. To download StepForward, go to this page. Select Get It tab and then Download. Here we have 3 downloadable files. StepForward uses a client-server architecture. This means that it consists of 2 parts: a server that provides connection to the database and does most of the processing work, and a client that is installed on the end user's computer and creates the interface for talking to the server. The server comes bundled with a relational database called McCoy and can also talk to other databases, namely Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle, if you happen to have these databases installed. If not, both vendors offer free lightweight versions of their product. In addition, we provide a number of pre-configured applications that can be used to learn StepForward, and in the case of preferred shares, put it to gainful use. These applications are available as separate files that can be imported into StepForward after the installation. There are 2 downloadable versions of StepForward Server, one without the applications and one with the applications bundled with the server as part of McCoy database already loaded with data. To save time, we will download this version along with the client. We begin by installing the server. This may take a couple of minutes, and when it runs its course, we'll get an icon on the desktop. Now the installer asks us to provide some basic user data in order to issue the license key. There is no cost involved, and the only mandatory part of the submission is your email address to which the key will be sent. Now we can check our email. And here it is. Let us now set the license key. We are now ready to start the server. However, before we do, let us look at the setup that comes out of the box. Here we have a pull-down list of adapters for supported databases. The default is McCoy and it is set accordingly when first opened. Next we have the database configuration parameters. These are set by the database administrator at the database end, and we just have to follow that setup. By default, the McCoy database uses port 9157, and it will be running on the same host computer as our StepForward server, so we put it in localhost. Database login account and password are created when McCoy database is created, and this happens when the administrator window, the one you see here, is displayed the first time. The default password is hello, well, lowercase HELLO, and if necessary you can change it by typing in any other password. Note, however, that the password is controlled by the database administrator, and as a StepForward admin, you just follow what the database admin tells you. We will forget for a moment that in the case of locally installed McCoy, the StepForward and database admin is actually yourself. The default user account for StepForward is administrator. It is a privileged account, as you can guess by the name. It has access to functions that control user access to data and provide security. The full list of the administrator functions is beyond the scope of this demo. Suffice it to say that using this account we will not run into any restrictions. Access to StepForward login is protected by the password. Out of the box, however, it comes without any password. That is, the password is blank. The last two options have to do with troubleshooting if it is ever required. Anything that happens during the user session is logged, and this includes errors caused by configuration or bugs, and can be inspected for diagnostics. The logs are located in the special folder that will be created when the server starts the first time, and can be accessed through this menu. We can also see what databases are currently available. Since we downloaded a version of the server that was bundled with demo applications, there must be something already in the list. And we can see that the database of interest to us, Preferred Shares, is there. While we're at it, it is worth mentioning one more feature of the server: streamlined updating to the latest version. Every software contains bugs, which are discovered from time to time and fixed. This brings about the new release of the product, and that needs to be downloaded and installed. StepForward Server has an update function that shows us updates when they become available, along with the list of changes and fixes that these updates install. The updates are published by Gestalt website, and the server knows where to find them. At the moment of making this video, the downloaded server is up to date. But if and when you decide to download and install it, there are likely to be fixes in the updates, so don't forget to check this option. And now we can start the server. Now is the time to install the client. Once done, the client configuration dialog comes up, and it is preset to the defaults. Although we don't need to change anything, it is still worth showing that the client connection parameters must match those of the server. The server address and the server port numbers must match on both sides. And now we can see the client icon on the desktop. This completes the installation of the client. It is worth noting that depending on the release, the client may discover that it is older than the server, and in this case it will automatically update itself, and the server must be running prior to starting the client, and in fact this is what just happened. To log in, we need to enter the name of the application that we want to connect to, login account, and the password is blank. Remember the setup of the server. Where the password is also blank. And now let us log in. You can notice the user session record in the server administrator window. And now we have the application launchpad window that is the user's entry point into StepForward. In the subsequent video tutorials, you are going to see what can be done with StepForward from this point on. One thing that should be mentioned at this point is that the free non-commercial user license allows full access to the functionality of StepForward except the networking. That is, both the client and the server must run on the same host computer. The commercial license allows connecting the server across the network, including the internet, turning StepForward server host into a cloud-based service. This wraps up The introduction into StepForward. You can learn more about functionality and capabilities of StepForward or download StepForward from this page and read on preferred shares design on our website. Thank you.